What is up, YouTube? It's Metatronics. I have the next emblem of the week for you guys, and it's Flame Princess. Oh yes. Now, before I get started and get into the actual tutorial of the episode, I wanted to do a little bit of announcement. So I've recently hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm super excited about that. And I don't know if you've heard, but I have my 1,000 subscriber party going on right now, where you guys can win 3 months of Xbox Live Time, a Metatronics t-shirt, or if you're a PS3 player, then you'll get $20 of PlayStation Network money. And I'll have a link in the description to find out more information about that. And I highly recommend you guys go check that out, because who doesn't like free stuff, right? And on another note, I am changing the rules for when I put up these Emblem videos. Now that I've got 1,000 subscribers, I feel like I can ask some things of you guys just a little bit, and I want to change it so that every time I get 500 likes on my newest Emblem video, I will put up a new one. So guys, if you like this emblem, make sure you like it, and once we hit 500, I will be putting up the new one. So here we go. So we start off with her head and her neck, and her head is just a circle, and it's almost small enough to fit inside one of those quarters of the square that you see there. And then her neck is just a monolith shape, and I colored it kind of a custom color. You'll see it, it's like a little yellowier orange than what's there. Then next we move on to her face. And her face, we start off with her smile, which is just a quarter circle, and her eyes are just circles, and they are just off to the right of her neck. I don't know if you can tell, but they're just a little off to the right. And then next we move on to the jewel on her forehead. And you will use a square to start off, and then you'll outline it in a darker red. And then after that, I use the lampshade shapes. Lampshade shapes. That's a tongue twister. And so what you want to do is you'll take those lampshade shapes, and you will kind of stretch them out a little bit, and make it so that you kind of end up with a smaller diamond inside the middle of the big square. So you see there, I stretched it out, and then I kind of duplicated it around, and I leave it at white right now, but I eventually change the colors, and you'll see why here in a minute. It creates a little depth. But so we have that kind of triangle, or excuse me, diamondy shape in the middle of the square. And so after you've done that, I changed the colors to a lighter orange on one side and a darker orange on the other, which kind of creates a little bit of depth. And now I do something kind of inventive here. I was proud of myself because I saved a layer when I did this. So what we'll do is we'll take a square and we'll squash it down just to like a line shape, and we'll color it the same color as the outline. And we'll do a little cross that'll fill in those gaps in between the lampshades. And then after that, I take the bright red square that we started off with, and I actually move it up in layers so it's on top of all of those other layers, and especially on top of the lines. And then I shrink it down, and there we go. Look at that. It's perfect. It looks exactly like her little jewel. It's awesome. I'm so proud of myself for that one. Now next we'll move on to her bangs. And I use the mane shape and some circles on either side of her head. So right now it's going to look like, what? She just looks really funny. But then we take those circles and we kind of push those, well, first off we squash them into an oval shape, and then we push them towards the middle so that on either side they'll just kind of touch both of those circles. And then I took that red and I made it more of an orangey color. You can see there I went 255, 95, and I believe it was 5, if I saw that correctly. And so what you can do is actually pick that medium orange color and then kind of adjust. Yeah, 255, 95, and 5. And then I just duplicate those layers and move them over to the other side. And it will cover the top bit of that jewel, but that's exactly what we want. And now look at that. Oh yeah, those are her bangs. That looks exactly like Flame Princess. Oh yeah. And then after that, we kind of start doing some outlines. And so what I do is I just duplicate those layers, put them in the background. And I did that really sharp, bright yellow, but I kind of adjust that because I want those to, I don't know, they just didn't quite look right to me. So I kind of do a custom color a bit, where I take that yellow and I make it not quite so yellow, just ever so slightly, a little more orange. So if you guys want to do that, you're more than welcome to. You could leave it just this default yellow that I have there, but for some reason I was kind of like, I don't know, it needs a little something. So I just kind of went with the custom color. And then once you're done doing those outlines, I do some outlines on the head and the neck. And so for the head and the neck, I do go with the bright yellow. For her hair, it just didn't match that orange, and it wasn't distinct enough from the yellow that was going to be behind her head and her neck, and so that's why I picked the custom color for the hair, but went with the default yellow for her head and neck. Now, moving on to her flamey hair, I went with this shape originally, which is a windsock, but I felt like it looked a little too beehivey, and when it was white, it looked like it was Flame Popecess rather than Flame Princess. She looked like the Pope or something. I was like, nah, I don't think so. This is not looking right. I tried to do some circles to, I don't know, just to try to round out that shape a bit, but I did not like that at all. Now, I couldn't get rid of this because I made some other modifications here that I wanted to keep. So, yeah, what you're going to do is you'll take a triangle wide and then kind of squash it a little bit and stick it behind where her ear is going to be. And she's got kind of some sticking out hair, flamey hair-like stuff out there. And then you'll take a shuriken shape and you will kind of just make it look like another little poking out flamey piece of hair, kind of like that. Oh yeah, it's looking good. And now, what I wind up going for with the hair is several different shapes. I use a flag breeze, and then I use some swoops and a mane and another flag breeze. So there's the flag breeze, and to me, that looks way better. Of course, it's not full yet. It's kind of, it's got this weird emptiness, like it doesn't look like it's connected to all of her head, like it's just part of her hair. So then I use a swoop shape to fill out some of the rest of her hair, and then I duplicate that swoop shape and kind of fill in that hole that's left there. And now after that, I try to do a circle to kind of fill in the top of her hair. I didn't feel like it looked quite right. And then even with the circle, when I kind of squashed it to an oval shape, it just didn't have the right feel. So I go for the mane shape. I change that shape into the mane shape, which is really nice, by the way. It's a handy little tip. If you have something the color you want, all you have to do is just say, hey, I want to change this emblem. Yeah, you go and pick another shape and you're good. So there, look at there. So I take that mane shape and I kind of smush it right in top of her hair and blends in perfectly. Now, after that, I was like, her hair is almost done. It's not quite right. I want like a little lick of flame that's kind of separate from everything. So I used another flag breeze shape to kind of push it out just off to the left of her hair. And now after that, I have like 2 layers left, and I'm like, well, it's time for the Metatronics background. But I did a little twist on this. So I used the synchronized attack shape and a square. I initially used 2 synchronized attack shapes, but I didn't feel like it looked quite right. It's I just love this background though. It's so freaking cute. And so I changed that background yellow to be a solid square, and yeah, after that, you are set. That is Flame Princess. Look at that. Okay, so there's the square. I kind of do a little monkeying around with the background, trying to figure out where it looks the best, but I like it just like that. You guys are welcome to do a different background if you want, but guys, that's Flame Princess. And I really hope you enjoyed this emblem, because I really enjoyed making her. And if you liked it, please give it a like. Remember, after we get 500 likes, I will be putting out the next emblem of the week, I guess. It's not really technically of the week anymore, is it? But yeah, make sure you're liking these videos, and we'll be kicking out the emblems like crazy. I hope you guys can help participate in all of that. That'd be awesome. Now, something that will help for sure get us to 500 likes is if you're sharing these videos with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm sure if you love my emblem so much, so will they, so make sure you're doing that. Also, don't forget to enter in my 1,000 subscriber giveaway if you haven't done it already. Guys, it's been Metatronics, and I will see you next time.